Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha, and tonight I wanted to talk to everyone about the recent changes made by Valve in relation to game and user data on the Steam platform. In a posting made earlier today, Valve announced several changes to expand upon user privacy settings, citing that this decision was based upon user feedback, and I'll admit that this is something to which I am of a very mixed mind when it comes to the potential implications and the ultimate end result. Now, in light of recent events surrounding Facebook, concerns of personal privacy are at an all-time high, and just so we're 100% clear, any actions that further the capabilities of an individual to keep their personal data secured and safe from prying eyes is a good thing. But the difficulty arises when you're faced with a platform like Steam, where game developers and game publishers make use of personal accounts to run their storefronts. Asset flippers, dirty devs, and legitimate developers all make use of their own accounts in this fashion, and Valve's new privacy settings will have a very worrisome side effect insofar as visibility into bad people doing bad things just got absolutely eviscerated. In addition to this personal profile settings update, it was revealed on Twitter that Steamspy, a very trusted and extremely crucial informational site that catalogs a wide variety of game data, announced that they are being forced to shutter their doors, as Valve has also altered the site's default settings to make everyone's gaming library hidden, which was not stated in Valve's blog post. This also means that other third-party sites like SteamDB will also not continue to function effectively, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. For a long time, sites like mine have worked closely with groups like Sentinels of the Store to ferret out the worst of asset flippers and dirty devs out of a desire for consumer awareness and protection. Indeed, several people like Sir Violent Death have been instrumental in many of those instances, and when it comes to people like them, they're true artists in ferreting out information like that. It is a direct result of that cooperation that brought about the downfall of some of the worst that crawled along the sewers that are the Steam storefront. Andrew Watt, Berdiev, and Silicon Echo, to name but a few. The discovery of the vast majority of information surrounding the worst of the worst directly came through a combination of hands-on digging and third-party sites like SteamDB and Steamspy. In addition to that, these new settings will make it all but impossible to determine memberships to bot farms, will increase the difficulty of discovering fake game reviewers, and a host of other difficulties such as the ability to see how active the player base of any online game before purchase is now going to be essentially all but impossible to determine prior to purchasing the game. Also, there have been widespread accusations that this was not based upon user pressure at all, but was in fact a result of publisher pressure being placed upon Valve. The reason being is the concept of information asymmetry, something that games publishers always try to maintain and is something that games critics and pundits like myself always tend to fight against. You see, information asymmetry is the concept that a situation will tend to favor the more knowledgeable party in a transaction. In most markets and scenarios, this tends to benefit sellers of substandard goods tremendously as they're able to prevent their customers from obtaining the information they would need to make an informed purchase. Now, this is a concept that I've always railed against. Many of you have often heard me reference the concept that information is ammunition, forewarned is forearmed, knowledge is power, and a number of other phrases like that. They all convey the same basic idea that is fairly straightforward. When you're dealing with a buyer-seller relationship, it is absolutely crucial that the buyer be provided with the tools that they require to be able to not be forced to make a decision in a vacuum. Games publishers have long fought against this concept and do their best to play their cards as close to their vests as possible. And if game developers and publishers are now able to block the types of data typically displayed by Steamspy and SteamDB, it is a very bold move that is exceptionally anti-consumer, while at the same time somehow being a positive move for personal privacy. Now, you can see the conundrum here. Again, I'm all for personal data being made more secure and more private if a person so chooses. That is always a positive, but at the same time, it has brought to light yet another amongst a dizzying array of glaring issues with the Steam storefront. Chief among them is a sudden curtailment of data available to consumers. And yes, I know some of you hate that term, but we are speaking in terms of a seller-buyer relationship here. Now, my job, the job of Sentinels of the Store, and countless others just got much more difficult as a result of the secondary aspects of this move by Valve. Steamspy already announced that they will be going away. SteamDB is almost certain to follow. But before long, the ability to garner any meaningful information in regards to fake reviews, asset flippers, dirty devs, Steam trading card trends, bot farms, and the entire trading card cottage industry that has sucked the indie market dry to the point where it is all but destroyed in the vast majority of cases will be all but completely gone. And in its place, trust and faith in Valve and their algorithms, which are designed by a company with the intended purpose of increasing profits. And once again, under the guise of a seemingly positive and customer-forward move by Valve, the hand under the table is taking away far more than it is giving. Of course, given Valve's actions over the past several years, I can't say that I'm exactly surprised. But as always, please do let me know what you think down in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring that bell, and while you're at it, some cookies would be nice too. I prefer snickerdoodles, believe it or not. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha, and I'll see you next time.